What's up, locker room? It is Wednesday. That means it's your day, the day that we talk about the things that you want us to talk about. There's a lot going on that we can talk about. You saw last week in the NFL, there are a lot of things that went on, and unfortunately I guess for all of us, we probably think about this. Last week we saw probably the best offensive player, or certainly one of the best in Patrick Mahomes, and one of the best defensive players in Michael Parsons, both go down with ACL injuries, which is a sad situation. So let me start by asking you guys, and I know you guys all will do that, pray for those guys. I mean, we want great competition, but we don't ever wish any harm or any bad things for anybody. So we start off by saying we're going to pray for Patrick Mahomes, Michael Parsons, and everybody that's injured this time of the year, because it's getting down to the nitty and the gritty time of the year. So yes, but it's always time for you guys. It's always a great time to talk with you guys, to hear from you guys, to learn from you guys, take information from you guys, and just spend some time with you guys. That's what I love doing, spending time right here in the locker room with you guys. So let's jump on into this here and have us a good time. As a matter of fact, no, we are still going to do a few minutes on Christmas Eve next week. So I can hold that. I don't need to tell you. I hope you guys are having a happy holidays. I'm telling you happy holidays right now, but I'm still planning on seeing you guys before Christmas. And I will be in Washington because I am doing that Christmas Day game with Netflix, so I already see what I'm saying? See, as I'm just doing the run up to talk to you guys, I already see people saying, "Oh, let's go Texas A&M." I knew that, you know what I mean? All right, who was that? Go wait a minute. Who was that saying, "Let's go A&M"? Go back down a little bit, Gene. You guys, what was that? Let's go. The after, who's that? What's that saying? I can't read. Okay, the Tar Heel. Oh, who's the Tar Heel 2010? The Tar Heel 2010. Let's go Texas A&M. Is that just what they call a troll? Because why would you be called the Tar Heel? You must be NC State or North Carolina. Oh, okay. So that is the troll. That's North Carolina. That's. I don't want to see y'all do anything because we've been beating up on them for so long. I got you. You the Tar Heel. What Texas A&M? You're not an Aggie. I don't know why we're getting that right here. Break the siren. Let's let's LFG. You know what I mean? UM. You're right about that, dude. That's what I want to talk about more than anything. Anyway, I want to give you guys a chance to bring up other things, but BTA to Texas A&M is all about the U. You ain't never lied about that, Nigel. 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 And you guys do know now, right? I told you I gotta be in Miami Friday night, and I'm going to have to get on a plane Saturday morning. In a private plane. Let me show you guys something, man, because when people send it to me, I've been trying to work with this thing right away, right? So I asked my guy to send it to me. I'm so crazy when I go through this. These terror attacks that I get thinking about getting on a private plane and all of that, and everybody loves getting on private planes, but I'm so scared of them. So right, so you see here, Mike, my guy from Europe. I'm telling him, I said, send me everything. I need to see it, and like this is a pretty good jet. That's a pretty good sized plane, right? That's a pretty good sized plane. Like I should be okay getting on this plane. I would never get on this plane if it was for me. I just wouldn't do it. I'm telling you, I have deals that have lost so much money because I won't get on these things, right? To get from one place to the other. They're offering this much if I can make it, but I can't make it because I have to fly private to get there. And I'm just like, I don't care how much you offer. If I ain't here to spend it, what difference does it make? You know what I mean? So I've turned down literally millions of dollars just so I don't get on a private plane. But I will not miss this game. I don't care what nobody said. But so I'm working on them. They sent me these pics, you know. And I said, okay. I said, that's pretty good. I can get in here. I can lay down. I can put some black eyes on. We're not gonna take off until maybe I fall asleep. And then we go. You know what I mean? I got it all figured out. I'm trying to figure this thing out. And I don't want nobody waking me up. I can't take any sleeping pills or anything because I gotta get right up and get rowdy when I get to the game. You know, so I want you guys to pray for me. While you're praying for Michael and praying for Patrick Mahomes, pray for the whole playmaker, pray for old Uncle, you know, that that I can make it through this because I got to get on the plane. They have a flight that I could possibly make it, right? But I have to fly through to Dallas and then get on another flight, and I'll get there probably 10 o'clock, 10:30 or something like that. And I was like, no way, I can't do that. I got to get there sooner because I got to talk to the guys and make sure the mind headspace is in the right place as we get ready to go on the football field. A lot of these guys never been in this situation. I would say all of these guys have never been in this situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about in a playoffs, in a playoff like this. And oh my God, certainly. And certainly going in an environment like this. They're literally called the 12s, the 12th man. And they made Seattle change, and everybody changed it to the 12s because they I guess they own that 12th man, or vice versa, some kind of way. They were arguing about that and going to court. Safe travel. I appreciate that, unknown. I appreciate that unknown anonymous 123 and giving me that. I really do want all your prayers. I got my man here saying he's as he once said, wait, why you say Redskin for life? You mean the Commanders for life? I mean, but if you were a fan of the Redskins way back then, some people don't want to let that go. Mike, you need to have a poncho for it to work. in a Mace voice. Was that not funny? What's that? Let me see who's just saying that, because you're so right, man. Me and Mace went at that. We talked about it. Mace was talking about my poncho and everything. Black Cuddy. Mace was talking about my poncho because after the Cowboys lost, then the poncho didn't have the same effect, But I told Mace, because he's a Chiefs fan. For those of you guys don't know, when I do that don't know what Black Cuddy was talking about, he's talking about when we would do the show, It Is What It Is with Cameron Mace, my boys. Those are my guys. I tell them they remind me a lot of Dion and I. I love being on with them and having fun with them. And and the other day we were having some fun because I got this clip where Cam was coming down playing basketball, and Mace was wide open on the block. They had to be kids. And it's so great to see, they were together as kids and then see them now still together. Because honestly, black men, we don't carry over like that. That's why I love the relationship I have with Dion, because it carries over. We've crossed many places, we play football against each other, high school, college, and then played against each other in pros, and then played with each other in the pros. And then we did shows together, worked TV together, went, tried to sell shows together, you know what I mean? And still right now to this day, tied together, and we'll do it until God take us from time to eternity. You know what I'm saying? From time to eternity. But it was so funny seeing Cam on that video He was playing pretty good, wearing 23, shooting everything like Michael Jordan. I told him the play we were talking about that could have won the game if he just hit Mace on the block. I told him, I said, you were being 23 Jordan when you needed at that moment to be 23 LeBron, because LeBron makes the play. Even though Jordan has made some plays, Jordan has kicked that ball out to Paxson and all those guys and gave them a Steve to make those plays and make those shots. So you know what I mean? But mostly that's more LeBron than Jordan passing the ball. Jordan is taking that last shot, and Cam wanted to be that. And so I was messing with Mace about all of that, Cam and Mace about that. And Mace was talking about my punch-up. I told him, don't worry about the Cowboy punch-up. Right now, he needs a Chiefs punch-up because the Chiefs, hey, where they at right now, especially without Mahomes, you know they're done. But honestly, guys, just real quick on that. I thought, unfortunately, I didn't want to see Patrick Mahomes get hurt, but I thought we could talk about that attack on Cowboys. But I really makes me wonder when you say attack on Cowboys and you then tell me fire Matt Eberflus. There's some things we can talk on that, but you just attacking the Cowboys, or you're speaking from what place are you speaking from? You know, by your handle, that means you just want to attack us boys, and you ain't speaking from a good place. I don't know. You know what I mean? You're just speaking on pain. You won't want to see us get more pain. But I mean, one thing I thought about, guys, and trying to find a positive. You can never find positives in someone getting hurt like a Patrick Mahomes, but trying to find a positive, I said, well, at least his mystique will still be in play. You know, if I'm a Chiefs fan or if I'm on that team, you see you're no longer the dynasty you used to have, and you're no longer the team you used to be. But Patrick Mahomes is still the best player in the National Football League, if you ask me. So Patrick Mahomes usually win those games, like the games like they lost last week, you know. And when your boy came in, what's his name? What's the quarterback name? Minshew came in and threw an interception. They were already at field goal range to tie the game, and he threw the interception, and they lost the game. But Patrick Mahomes was out, and he was hurt. So next year, when he gets back, they can say, you know, he still have that magic. We lost when he went out. If he would have played and finished that game, we would have won that game because that's what he does. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to find a positive for the Chiefs fan base and the Chiefs altogether, as they've seen so many things go in that direction for them this year. So, you know, you kind of, because so much of this is shoulders up. And Patrick Mahomes is the greatest, you know, and him going down with the ship may take some of the shine off his star. But if he went down before the ship sunk, you had to take him out. Now, next year, you'll still feel like, okay, there's still some Patrick Mahomes magic right there. You know what I mean? There's still some Patrick Mahomes magic. So that's just kind of how I thought about it. But I'm praying for him, and I want him to get back and get help. Excuse me. Now, hey, Jay Cuddy, I'm getting a lot of people talking about, I guess, firing Matt Eberflus and everything, and the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. And I saw some improvement in that defense for the Cowboys. And then I saw the bottom fall out. And I don't know if you guys have seen it. I've seen it on social media too. Did you see that play, the touchdown, where they ran right up the middle of the field, and Ken Murray, linebacker Murray, he went to the wrong spot. He went running around, I guess, running around the tackle and left the middle of the field, wide open. Wide open. The guy just kind of walks in the end zone. I'm like, man, where are your eyes? Like, what are you looking at? You know what I'm saying? That blows my mind. And you know what I thought about? Like, I saw the Ray Lewis's, the Dan Morgans, all of these guys at the University of Miami. I mean, the Ken Nortons. I saw them play that middle linebacker spot like a they dissected plays. They knew from the setup, from the play, from the how you come to formation, where that ball was going, and they made plays, incredible plays. Murray worries me. I don't know if he's a pure middle. You know, playing middle is different. You playing outside backer, that's different. But you playing middle, you got to be a reader. You have to be a reader because you have to try to clog each hole. You got to let those tackles take up the blockers, and then you got to adjust to where that runner is coming. And if you go hit the wrong hole, we get what we got. Dudes just trotting in the end zone like they did last week. So yeah, that they got to get that right. They got to get it right. Let me see. Let's go there. Mike, where the after party after the BTA we put it on the magazine. Aggies. That's what I'm trying to talk about. Where would that after party be? Well, I'm going to be in College Station. We win this game. You think I'm going to let them get away? Boy, I'm gonna be a boy. I will stay in College Station. I'm going to go out and I'm going to be razzing everybody in College Station. Everybody. Everybody. Because everywhere, I'm in Texas now. You know, I'm walking around. You know how many Aggies out here? Everywhere I go, everybody's saying, oh, I'm BTA Miami, BTA Miami. We will see. We will see Saturday at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. We will see. And this is a good matchup, I think, for Miami to be the first. I rather have been on a neutral site, but if you're going to go where you want to go, Miami has to be able to go in here and take out a team on their turf. And when you got a team like this, a team like Texas A&M, and a crowd like this, you got to do some early success. They're going to be coming. Everybody's going to be hyped. You have to withstand that initial blow and also throw a blow back to let everybody know, wrong team. And for you guys, wrong time. And what Miami has on the defensive line, that's what I need Bain and Mastador, to make sure we do. We have to throw that first punch. Yeah, they're going to come out, man. They'll be so hyped. The crowd's going to go crazy. Everybody will be yelling. And all of they'll be yelling is against Miami. You got to receive that. Me, myself, I love that stuff. I love being in the middle of a place where everybody is doubting you can get the job done. And then you get the job done. You see, that raised your profile in their eyes. And they said, man, that's a different group of guys. And that's what Miami will have to do Saturday. I can't wait. I can't wait for that to happen. You know what I mean? Spoil their night. All 100K. You ain't never lied, DJ. We're going to spoil their night. 100? That's pretty amazing, though, that they put 100,000 people in there. And I mean, they go. They go. You know what I mean? They go like a mug. They yell. They're loud. They take pride in their ability to affect a game. And that's what two things Miami have to do. Miami's going to have to, the defensive line is going to have to dominate this game. Stop them from running and make them use their quarterback to throw the ball. And then Miami has to score early. And it can't be field goals. Field goals don't take the crowd out of a game. Touchdowns do. You go and score a touchdown, you stop them, you go score another touchdown. Then that crowd starts saying, "Oh God," and you start taking something from that crowd. I saw somebody saying, "Michael, Alvin Harper was better than you." Alvin Harper was better than me. Okay, that's people calling me. I can't take that call. I'm sorry, guys. What's going on here? How do I get out of there? Let me get back over here. Hold up. Put this back up. Let me put my phone on a block on do not disturb right now. Because when they call, it rings over. All right. Zoom, stop calling me. Sorry about that. But it's a good thing about this. We could just say, what's happening and get right back to the conversation. But it's Alvin Harper is better than me at some things. There's no doubt. Alvin Harper going up the football field, Hart can make those plays better than I can. You put that ball high up in the air, Hart can make those plays better than I can. There's no joking, no getting around it, you know. But there's some things that I do a little bit better than Alvin. And that's what made us have a great duo. And I could do some of the things Alvin did, but not as good as Alvin. Alvin can do some of the things that I did, but not as good as I can. So that's how I always looked at that. So I hope that wasn't something of a troll trying to say, Hart was better than me, because I concur. There were some things he was better than me at, but that's what makes us all have a great team. You know what I mean? No. I don't mind him. I don't mind him. Geo Kane 75 saying he was better, because he was. He was, and I love him. I love him. You can't drive any state between Harper and I. I begged Harper to stay with me forever. I begged him, literally begged him. I mean, really begged him. Back then we were kind of crazy. So I was begging him in a lot of ways. But this locker room, I don't mind telling you guys, I was calling and I was setting up parties, and we would have, all kind of things over there. And I was like, "Huh, why would you leave this? Come on, man, it's what we do. Look at this, look at this, look at how beautiful this is." And he would come in, we'd have some drinks, and we'd be having fun, and he would partake, but he still left. You know what I'm saying? He still left. But that's my boy, man. I miss him, and and I love him. And I love him. And I wish I could have played with him forever. Nigel, just like how they should keep GP3, and CD together. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I talked to you guys about that. Remember, Kansas City was ahead of his time in this. Kansas City, when they had Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, they were dominating. And they still won Super Bowl after Tyreek Hill left. But those were two number ones. And I'll tell you, it's always more difficult to stop two number ones, especially if you got a receiver tight end, than it is even if you have two wide receivers. Because two wide receivers, if we play opposite sides, they're going to shell cover that. They'll put cornerbacks up and safeties over the top. But when you get a tight end wide receiver, now I go on one side. If you shell cover the wide receiver that's bad, and he's on the same side of tight end, that means you got to put a linebacker on the tight end, because the corner is on top and the safety's on the back. That great tight end, a Travis Kelce, for me, a Jay Novacek on a linebacker, that's a mismatch all day long, and three times that on Sunday. So that was always what was, I thought, incredible. Now look at what you got here. You got the T. Higgins and the Jamar Chase, those offenses that explode. You got two number ones basically. So yeah, we got to keep GP3. We got to keep GP3. And I did go and look at some of those all 22s. And when I was telling you guys about how the corners play, that Michael Irvin coverage that they're playing on George Pickens sometimes, and they are playing it on him. And he's new to this. He's new to this kind of coverage. And even when you see him coming off the ball kind of slow, that just was in his mind. There's no way he's getting this ball with that cloud coverage. It's called cloud coverage. That means somebody's right on top of you, jamming you, and then they got somebody clouding over the top of him to make sure, since he's right up front, that I can't beat him and go deep. So if I beat him right off the line of scrimmage, the guy's cloud. He has covering. That's why they call it cloud. He's covered. He's covered. So he's a cloud cover. That means a safety sitting back there. So now George may come off a little light because he's not used to it. I was used to it. I understood. Or sometimes they'll fake the cloud, they'll bring them over, and at the snap of the ball, the safety kind of run back over. So that's why you always have to go hard. I got to run this route because I don't know. Sometimes he's hanging out, sometimes hanging. But if he runs back to the middle, then I'm live again. I'm live, and this is a true one-on-one coverage. And then he has to, you got to go take him out. And I think that's what happened, like on that square end, a couple weeks ago that George didn't get. And everybody got on him, when Richard Sherman was saying, you're coming off the ball, you're lazy off the ball. He saw cloud coverage. But like I say, sometimes that safety run back to the middle at the snap of the ball. Because all he wants the quarterback to do is get off the pre-read. Troy comes to the line of scrimmage. He sees one-on-one. He's done reading. I'm throwing this ball over here. But now if he see cloud coverage, that safety comes over top, he comes here to see cloud coverage. Now he starts to examining the rest of the field because I'm being clouded. Now he has to drop back. But if that safety shoots back to the middle of the field at the snap of the ball, I got to be running hard to get that route. And that's the part that I don't blame George because he's just not used to it. He's just starting to get these double teams. He wasn't getting, I'm sure he was not getting them like this in Pittsburgh, so that's all part of the learning process. You know what I mean? When you are leaving a team like Pittsburgh and coming to a team like Dallas, and you're as viable and has been as successful as he has been early on in this season. Mike, I hear the pain when Joe talks to you about the Jets. Yeah. What does the franchise need to do to correct itself? Seems like whoever they throw it at it doesn't work. Let me tell you something. The, the Jets, first of all, it's a hard place to bring young talent and grow young talent. New York is just a hard place to bring young talent and grow young talent because the impatience of this city and the pain that they've endured for so long. And New Yorkers take pride in being rude. They take pride and they don't understand that, you get a young guy, and he plays okay, and then he has a bad game, and everywhere he goes, he feels like everybody's kind of thinking he's a bum or feeling bad about it. That affects you on the football field. It affects you on the football. That's why guys don't develop. It's hard to develop young quarterbacks in New York. And then you see the Sam Darnolds and the Geno Smiths, and guys go away and have pretty good seasons and pretty good career. They get their career back on track because they're not walking away from the field and dealing with everything that they're dealing with. You come in, man. That's my guy bringing my clothes over for that Christmas Day game. Hey, is the door open? Yeah. The door open? Yeah. Y'all got it? Okay. That's my boy Derek. Come on, D. I'm like, I'm on live here, man. Hey, don't leave that coat out the way. They don't need to see that
Don't
coat.
see the coat.
Leave that clean coat out of that coat. Man, for that Christmas game. It's like, man, come on, look at these. This is my dude over here, man, right here, who puts some suits together right here.
What's that?
You know what I'm saying? So he always lays it out for me to make sure everything is right. Uh-oh. Dude, see there, dude, I like that. Kaboo 88898. He asked rings with a question mark. Rings with a question mark. Because I promised these guys here. I'm doing live screen. Or talking in my locker room. I'll be suited and booted. The suit over there, I want to show it to you, but I gotta make you wait because I gotta unveil that thing on Christmas. I'm gonna be the gift that just keeps giving as long as your eye gate is on me when I put that suit on. Trust me. Kuba, you think I told you guys right here that I will always be real with you and true to you. And I jumped on this early because I know I got the president. He's going to make some announcement or statements coming on at 8. So that's why I made sure I jumped on at 7 to talk with you guys. But my word is bond. If I speak it out the mouth, it shall never hit that floor. I told you I will give you a peek at the rings because that's what Miami's fighting for. Even though Dallas won't get one this year, I told you I shall give you a peek at the rings. So just stay tuned for that peek at the rings. I'm going to make sure I deliver the promise to you in about 7-8 minutes. You know what I mean? I only got to right before 8 o'clock because I want to hear what the president got to say, what he's going to do to make it better for all of us out here. But I will deliver those rings to you. So stay tuned for a peek at the layout of the rings. I always tell people, I am a S brother. I really use the N-word sometimes. I don't use the brother when I say it. I say I'm an S. No, I use the N-word. But what I mean by that, just talking to you guys, what I mean by that is I didn't just win on one level. I won on all levels. There's an S on the end, levels. And I didn't just win one ring. I won rings. Everything I do, you gotta put an S in the end. That means I'm multiple, not singular. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. So I'm gonna do that right at 7:45. That's about 9 minutes from now. Because then we only have a few minutes. I'm gonna do it 7:45. So call who you gotta call, talk who you gotta talk to, let them know peek in. I'm gonna show them the fight that Miami is in and the fight and the fight that Dallas basically just got kicked out of. I think they're 1% chance of making the playoffs, and it's not. I don't think that's going to happen. That means Philly would have to lose every game, and Dallas would have to win every game, and I don't know that we have any faith in that. Double star 88 playmaker. Talk about what Kmart meant to you. Kmart. For those of you who don't know, Kmart is Calvin Martin. Played here at Dallas, from Jacksonville, Duval, always Duval, but Le short dude, one of the best players I've ever been around, though, smartest player I've ever been around. Kmart would be so much. He would be a number one receiver in today's game. Because today's game is for the small, quick guys that can maneuver in the middle of the field since they can't touch you as you run across the field. When we were playing and Kmart was playing, it was more difficult for him because they can bump you as you move across that football field. But he gave me the game and help me understand the game shoulders up and like nothing else. My first day here, I was trying to run, get off the press. And I'm figuring people out trying to run around. And because I saw Kmart, I see that's what everybody was doing. He said, Michael, what are you doing, man? He said, man, if I had your size, he said, I wouldn't be trying to run around people. He said, man, I'll run right through them if I had your size. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, man, just go. You big, they can't run, they can't hold you, they won't be able to stop you. Just go. I said, what do you mean just go? Dude, he said, catch the count and run through one of them dudes. Because I'm 210 pounds. I was playing against a guy 195 or 190. He said, why are you trying to fake him out? Go through him. I never thought about it. And I said, okay. And that's how I changed the game. From that place, I got to where I wanted to see you line up over me. But most receivers don't want to see that. I want to see you here since I know I'm bigger and I know the snap count and you do not. And I'm going to go through this shoulder or that shoulder, but you won't be able to stop me. And yeah, and then he showed me how to see things on the inside, how to play with the line, how to see the linebacker play and everything. I mean, he was a phenomenal player. Smart guy, smart. I'm telling you, now you see inside guys now becoming that number one receiver. But that was never the case when we were playing because of the physicality of the game. So I appreciate you, buddy, asking me about Kmart, man, asking me about Duval. That was my dude. As a matter of fact, Kmart, when I think about it, Kmart taught me on the field. My boy Thornton Chandler, we call him Dirtwood, number 89, played tight end. He took care of me all the way around. He took care of me off the field because I had just gotten here. When I just got into Dallas, he was always my dude. All of those dudes, both of them from Jacksonville. So shout out to Duval, shout out to to Kmart and my guy Thornton Chandler. You know what I mean? I'm a Giants fan, but you was a real good wide receiver back when you played. Yeah. So, and, hey, listen, let me tell you something though. Was that NC Gaming? Let me tell you, man. You guys, you should have hope as a Giant fan. If you get everybody back healthy, you got something. I don't care what anybody says, man. You will have something with that quarterback, with Malik Neighbors and with Scatterboo. That is the Emmett, Troy, and Michael. Now, all three of those, guys, all three of them went through injuries this year. So you got to try to get them all back, get them back healthy. But to me, that's something to kind of hang your hat on. I'm going to find a coach that understands this is our focus. If you will sit in front of me, you got to tell me how you going to make the Giants have the top triplets in the National Football League, or I will not hire you because this is an offensive league. This is an offensive league. I'm not going to get a defensive coach if I'm the Giants. I'm not going to get a defensive coach. I'm going to get me somebody that's going to make sure they become the top triplets in the National Football League over the next 2 years. Because the year coming up be the first year they'll really have a chance when they all get healthy playing together. But then after that year, after everybody's healthy and we got understanding, I would expect them to shoot straight to the moon and the Giants to start being a real problem for a lot of people, to be honest with you. Mike, all I want in Dallas is Max Crosby and Antonio Pierce. AP's my guy. I love AP. I doubt we can get Max Crosby, but I love him too. I think Max Crosby's a great player, man, and he's a loyal dude. I spent some time with him because, AP is my boy. AP and I used to spend a lot of time when he first retired for the Giants, and I was working in New York on Showtime inside the NFL. and we would go at dinner a lot because he was in New York, man, and he was always, man, always a good dude. He understands the game. And then he brought me in when he got the job with the Raiders, and I got a chance to talk to his team, got real cool and close with Max Crosby, and I love how, that's a great locker room dude right there. So if that could ever happen, I would be all in on it, but I just don't know how you pay all of the people you have to pay and still have money to pay Max Crosby with that kind of talent that he has. I just, it'll be, yeah, that'll be hard. That'll be hard to get to. You know what I mean? Let me tell you also before I get to show you these rings, because I think it's very important here. Kind of things that I have to make sure is implanted in my boys' head, in their minds, in their brains when they step on the field in Aggie Land here Saturday morning. The first thing I'm going to make sure they know is ain't nobody give them this. Ain't nobody give them this. They earned this. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear the committee didn't put you in. You put you in. You put you in. The committee finally did what they were supposed to do, which is recognize the reality of the team that you are. And I don't know why we haven't had more of an outrage. When I saw the AD for Notre Dame get on that interview and start talking about how mad they were because they were promised a spot. Promised a spot. I'm like, are you joking? You mean you guys are out of that? That's you should be banned for even saying that. But it tells me that you're so engrossed with the dirty process that you don't even think that's wrong, that you just said that on national TV. We were promised a spot. Yes, and we're promised a spot next year if we get in the top 12, I guess, because of disappointment this year. Like, dude, there should never be anybody saying you were promised a spot. There should never be any promises made. It's not politics. We're not voting. This is what happens on the football field. But see, when you get the mentality, we're promised a spot, then you get people spitting out dumb stuff like head to head doesn't matter. No, you're just trying to hold on to your damn promise. Stop. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And I don't see why there wasn't an immediate cease. Everybody stop. Let's do an investigation and make sure this will ever happen again where people are promising anything in a sport where we're supposed to go down on the football field. You mess up the whole process with a promise. You can't promise anything. And they shouldn't be promising anything. They should be voting on what they saw. And you don't know what you're going to see week to week. So how the hell can you make a promise to anybody? It's so wrong, and nobody's saying anything about it. And I don't understand that. I don't understand that, and it blows my mind. We need to make sure that does not happen. No investigation because it's Notre Dame. I guarantee you know what? You're right, Nigel, because I guarantee you, let Dan Rather, let the Miami AD, let somebody from Miami get up and say, we were promised a spot. Oh my God. It would have been Armageddon. It would have been hell. You know what I mean? It would have gone crazy. And I guarantee you, they would have been bringing sanctions on Miami, even though somebody promised it to Miami. For even saying that, they would have brought sanctions down on Miami. But now all of a sudden, there is no issue. And I'm going to tell you something. It dampens everything if it's about a promise made in a room instead of a game played on the field. And what are we playing for? It is 7:45. We're playing for simply that thing we call a ring. Let me show you these and give you an understanding of these. Here is my ring collection. You see this? Miami, Miami, Dallas, Dallas, Dallas. Hall of Fame. The ring collection. This is about what happens on the football field. It's about what you earn, not some promise given. It's about what you earn. And my guys have earned a right to continue to fight for one of these. For one of these. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody promised anything. They made a promise to each other that we're going to put in everything we need to put in. We're going to work hard every day we need to work hard, and we'll give everything to each other. That's how you win these. So promise made, one man to the other. I will get my damn job done today and every day. That's why I have these. Think about it. Some men have none. They have none. Not this man. And not the men that are wearing the U now. We're going to make sure that this is before them on Saturday so they can understand what they're fighting for. Where you at? Yeah, that's funny, dude. Hey, the 1312156, whatever. He's talking about Terrell. They look at the rings. He said, wherever you're at, Terrell, look at the rings. That's referring to when Terrell told my boys, Cam and Mace, that I was at the bottom of the Hall of Fame. I said, any man carrying all these rings and things, you will sink to the bottom because these things are heavy. You understand what I'm saying? They are heavy and they are worthy. Rings and things. My peeps, I appreciate you spending time with me here today on this live stream. Now let's go and hear what the president got to say about this country and how he could really help us win the ring in this country. You talk about making it great again and all of that stuff. A lot of people say a lot of things about that. I don't do politics. I do this country. And I want to hear what goes on. I don't even want to talk about politics, but I want to hear what goes on. But I want to hold my word and show you those rings and things. And I still don't have peace. You see all these rings? I still don't have peace. Each night I put head to pillow, or each day I wake up and put toothbrush to tooth. I said, damn, I left some rings on the table. I should have brought home more than this. You understand what I'm saying? But just to give my peeps a glimpse of the rings and things. Let's talk again next week. But I am going to say, continue to have a great holiday season. But we will talk again next week. Same bat channel. Same bat time. God bless my peeps. Look at those things. Look at those rings. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. You too. You have a good one, buddy. I appreciate that. God bless you guys. Now let's get ready and get it done. Appreciate you guys.